We'll check this stuff. We are live on Twitch. Check YouTube. Check this. Yep. Let's check whatever Twitter broadcasts are called now. Yep. Great.
Wait, what are Twitter podcasts called? Or, yeah, what is that called now?
I don't know. It used to be Periscope, and now I just think they're...
Flights. Flights.
Flights. Because it's not a space.
It's not.
That's like that's a different... Well, Twitter has always said don't refer to the logo as a bird, and everybody's like, I'm sorry, the bird logo is not a bird.
It's a bird, and it's called Twitter, like tweet.
Yeah, like you're not a bird thing, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Good times. Good job, Twitter. Oh gosh.
Oh fucking hell! Idea Tinder, but for fighting. You swipe right on dudes whose asses you want to kick, and if you both swipe on each other, you got to fight, and they're gonna call it Tinder.
I mean, I could get with that.
Oh man. Hello, Faeror.
Howdy. Oh, you know.
Sucks that we just started and I already feel like going for a nap.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's been a long week.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. All right, let's close all that stuff out. All right, are you guys ready to get started?
I am.
No. No.
Me neither.
I'm on the slightest, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Good times. All right.
Asamaru. She shells. How much wood for the woodchuck chuck?
Six sick skunks. All right.
Ooh.
Getting started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpear.
Hi, Boston. How dare you start the show while I was trying to drink my coffee?
I keep you on your toes.
The level of disrespect.
And the Nymph.
We literally had 2 minutes leading into him starting the show.
And he's drinking again. The audacity.
Yeah. Don't defend the tyrant in the room, please.
That's right.
Hey, go ahead and take another drink, why don't you?
I will. Several times.
And every time you do it, I'm going to say E1M1.
That's right.
Okay.
Like patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones and numbers.
Get all the cool behind the scenes, like the uncensored behind the scenes Outcast. Just got done recording that, talking a lot about some brand new discoveries this week. Some good, some bad, some movies we watched. It's always good. You also get 2-week early access to We Roguelike It, show where Moon and I play through every roguelike in history. We're wrapping up Wizard of Legend this week. We'll be turning over to the Scientists soon. You get a couple months early access to Critical Misses, show where Moon and I are catching up all the media hits we missed. If
this season's going to be such a banger.
Oh man, Season 12 is coming in hot. It's pretty great. If you want to get early access to that, and if you're a subscriber at $5 or more, you get the exclusive production meeting that Moon and I have, where we aim to talk for maybe about 20 minutes what season we're gonna do, and then we talk for over an hour. So that's how we do it. I don't know why I'm surprised every time, but I am.
We have good self-control is the lesson that we are learning.
100%. I can stop ranking things anytime I want. So you can get that over there. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
The $5 tier is the recommended one. If you want to be a patron for more than that, please feel free. Remember, tell your super rich friends. Tell them to get like, oh, it's just like $100 a month. No big deal. That would be great. I could finally buy Moon a new computer. That would be super great. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Oh boy. I have, as far as I'm aware, because my brain is shot, a grand total of 2 games to talk about.
Okay.
So we're going to start with game number 1.
Game number 1, world
Shockingly
premiere.
enough, which is the Gunk.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot longer than I thought it was, he says, as he's pretty sure he's 10 minutes away from the end of that game.
That would be on brand, yeah.
There has been story development. There have been relationship developments.
Twists and
Things
turns.
have happened. Have you played any of this, Nymph?
No, I got to that part where I told you I got stuck, and I was like, all right, I'm good for it. I take it you got past that part.
Yeah, I got past the three locks and the 1 lock thing that got me game breaking bugged. I got past that point. Past the next like huge sections, I've encountered 2 new enemy types.
Okay.
And it appears like the story is going into the red zone at the moment. Where things are very serious, very dire, very nice, very evil. And things are developing rapidly to the point where I met a thing, did a thing, and now I'm going back to meet the thing again.
Gotcha. So a fetch quest.
Kind of, yes.
Oh, no. If it was a JRPG, it'd be like, please, I need you to go get my bread. I'm so hungry. I'm so tired. Please. It's just around the corner. Bleh.
And then you bring them bread, and they throw it back at you and say, not this bread, you idiot, the other bread.
I wanted a croissant. Bleh.
Yeah, it was very much a go 10 off this Switch, so you can do this.
Sure.
So, it's fine. The game is fine. My previous complaints still stand, where it controls okay, it feels a little weird with animation-wise. It's perfectly acceptable as a B+ game.
Yeah. We love them.
And that is, there's nothing wrong with that. We actually tend to prefer those things here.
Yep.
Other than that, the only other thing I played has been an absolute boatload of Rainbow Six Extraction. So. Credit where it is due. Rainbow Six Extraction scales incredibly well.
Oh, okay.
So whether you're in a team of 1 or a team of 3, it does scale that difficulty appropriately.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. Yeah, very much, thank goodness. And it seems to do a decent enough job of changing how difficult the levels are based on how many people are there. Having said that, it's still grindy as all kinds of hell.
Yeah.
Which Rainbow Six Siege was. Don't let that fool you. Like, that was a grind of a game when it first came out.
But I feel like to me that's a little bit different because it's like a competitive multiplayer thing where this is a team. Do you know how many missions there are in this?
I think there is at least 5 maps.
Okay.
3 sub-maps per map.
Okay.
And then the missions are randomly generated each time you load into that map. So it's a different set of 3 missions each time you go in.
Oh, okay. So it's doing not necessarily
a little bit of roguelike generation.
Well, it sounds like the maps themselves aren't necessarily randomized, but like maybe the order you do them in and the things you do in them are different.
Yeah, it seems to pick like a different start zone on the map, and then when you make it through zone 1, like I've gone from zone 1, 2, 3, and then at the same level in a different play session, gone Zone 1, 2, 3 reversed. So it was I
Gotcha.
started in what was Zone 3 and worked my way back to Zone 1.
That helps a little bit at least, instead of it just being like, for as good as something like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 was, there was 4 or 5 maps in that, and there's a little bit of variance, but it wasn't
tiny variance, like not that much at all.
It wasn't like, oh, we're taking one of 7 different paths through this map. It's like, no, this one, the boomer came earlier, and that it's fine again, but
or you open the safe door and the tank is right there.
Yeah, but there wasn't,
or there was a fence blocking the road, so you had to go around a different building.
Right.
Like, that was the grand total of it.
Thankfully for Left 4 Dead, you weren't filling up any bars. Like, you weren't really unlocking anything for better or for worse. If they were making that today, you sure would. But it seems like maybe that's more of a contemporary sort of design-wise to Rainbow Six Extraction.
But you forget, Boston, that they did make it for today, and they added cards.
That's, I
haven't played that game.
Yeah, I'm not judging Back 4 Blood too harshly, because from what I'm hearing from a lot of people that stuck with the game for a little bit, that the cards do actually add something pretty fun, especially for like, oh, I want to make this thing way harder, I want to make this easier, I want, like, you can change a lot of the game's variables with it, which wasn't my worry about Back 4 Blood when it came out. Is like, you're going to collect cards, and it's like all of those cards are like weapons or characters or something, kind of like the nightmare scenario of Gears 3, Gears 4,
the consumables.
Yeah, Back 4 Blood has pin packs. Oh yeah, it's like, no, please.
Gears 4 was surprisingly good about that card stuff, though. I'm not gonna lie. Listen to me. I've been like Stockholm syndromed in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the funny thing is? Go listen to that pin pack episode, and you guys are banging on about how great pin packs are.
Pin packs were great because we were addicted.
Young and naive.
That's right. Ah, boy.
Addicted, young and naive. The TVGP stuck me.
That's right. That's right.
But no, I played a fair bit of Rainbow Six Extraction. I actually played a bit with Rob as well this week. We had a pretty solid time. Like, we just went in, we went full stealth. Occasionally, if the need arose, we loudied up a little bit and had a bit of volume on our stuff.
Right.
But generally speaking, it was good chill time, like sneaking around corners. Drones become immediately effective when you're just like, oh, it's the stealth game. Use the drones. I got
I can see stuff. Gotcha.
I gotcha. There was 18 operators in total. I believe I have unlocked 9 of them, maybe.
Okay. You're around half.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
And it still tickles me because I'm sure to all of the Rainbow Six fans, these cutscenes where Thermite is talking about how much of a badass he is and how much he hates the winter and the cold in Alaska where he is.
That's my boy Thermite.
Thermite.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like for me when Valorant puts out a new like 4 or 5 minute video announcing a character, and I watch it and I was like, God, they make such pretty CG, and everybody's like, did you catch the this thing and the other thing? And I'm like, no, I just it's like the flashing lights. It's real. There's a new color in there. I like it.
Yeah, we are now the old man crows.
Yes.
That's why they're around your house so much, Boston.
That's
they sense a kindred spirit. They like the shiny things.
Caw-caw, my friends.
Yeah. Check that out on Critical Misses at some point.
Next week's episode, TVGP episode 746, is just going to be hosted by one crow sitting in my chair. It's going to be great. Sweet freedom.
Like a plan to me.
That's right.
Well, no, I mean, it's Rainbow Six Extraction. It plays like Rainbow Six. I'm enjoying the bar filling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Boston, if you want to jump in and play a nice, slow, steady shooter where you don't have to run around and there's bars to fill
Oh no!
You have an Xbox.
You don't have
You
to
have
run
Game
around
Pass.
if things go correctly.
That's right. That's the
Witch
problem.
Queen, you've got 2 months until Witch Queen comes out, dude.
That's right.
A month. Shut up.
No,
Whatever.
I wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, actually, it's 23 days and 12 hours. No, it's
Yeah, scrub.
yeah. That's my biggest thing about Ubisoft is it's kind of hard to talk about some of their games because stuff like Rainbow Six Extraction, it's fine, and you kind of know what you're getting into because it's Rainbow Six Siege. And it's a little bit slower, and there's like alien zombie things in it. And you can kind of fill in the blanks from there. And that's fine, but like, it's kind of like talking about a Marvel TV show, where it's like, if you're invested in it, it's fine, but if not, you could probably put pieces together with the next movie you see. It'll be alright.
True. Also, I just got distracted by the show notes for this week. Is that second release correct?
As far as I know, yes. I'll double check it here.
So, Nymph, me and you and Rob are going to have to get together and play some serious games.
Shoot me an invite.
I can verify. Yes, it appears that that's the actual release date. Check the second segment for more.
But I was going to say, before we spoil what it is for later on, this is perfect because by the time we beat what we're doing now, the other thing will be on sale.
Actually, that's a good point.
Fully patched, actually working.
Yeah, or it's going to have all of the DLC and stuff like that included
100%.
in the package too. So,
pick up Mystery Games Game of the Year edition.
I was trying to think of a suitable pun without giving it away, but I just can't think of one.
The Living Dark 2 Game of the Year edition.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much, dude.
That's right.
But yeah, all I've been playing is Extraction and the Gunk. Go ahead and take it away.
All right. So I'm not doing much better with games this week. Daemon X.
Machina.
Yeah. No. Is that what it's called? Jesus.
Yep.
I didn't fully write down this title. Came out on Epic.
Yep.
Anime mech game. Was really fun, really enjoying it. I put 5 hours into it between yesterday and today.
This is the one that was Switch exclusive?
Yes.
Yeah. It was I thought it had been out on PC for a while, but like when it came out on PC it did not. It was a little bit rough and people were like, "Yeah, don't bother."
I'm pretty sure it came out on Steam a year ago or something like that. But either way, I was having a ton of fun with it. The story is crap. The character archetypes are crap. But the gameplay...
so it's a mech game.
Yeah, the gameplay was where it was at. Reminded me a lot of Armored Core, actually, where it's like you kind of go into your hangar, you set up your mech, you accept a mission, you go out in the field, which every time you selected a mission or accepted one, it would always bring up this screen that says, "Welcome to your battlefield."
Right.
And it's like, all right, cool.
Love it.
Yeah. So then you go out there, you blow up a bunch of stuff, and then you come back, rinse and repeat, and there's your game.
Yep.
At some point, I opened an ice cream shop in my hangar. I don't know why, but these give you stat bonuses for your next mission.
So it's a Japanese mech game.
Yes. So you can choose between a cone, a waffle cone, or a cup, and then whatever flavor you want. And you can also do single scoop or double scoop to boost the bonuses that you get.
Is it like a VanillaSoft game or a Vanillaware game where like the art on the ice cream is disturbingly good?
No, they're just round balls. Like
Great.
So the chocolate mint one, if you picture, it's just a round ball that's like a minty green color, and then there's like brown little squares on it for the chocolate. Great. Vanilla is just like a straight brownish white ball. That's all it is.
So many titles. So many titles that could get vetoed.
Veto.
Question: do you feed the ice cream to the pilots or to the mechs?
To the pilot.
That is a fair question.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was mech ice cream.
Yeah, your robot loves Superman sherbet, and it's like, yeah, man.
That tiny round ball was actually the size of a skyscraper kind of
That's
thing.
right.
You just throw it in the fuel cell, and there you go.
That's right. It's like hydraulic oil chip. It's like, yeah, man. It's the good stuff.
The backstory of the game is that AI has been corrupted, and they want to destroy humanity. For some reason, you have this one AI called 4 that is helping to save humanity.
So now.
Exactly. So you, as an outer, I'm not entirely sure what that means because Moon falls into Earth at some point, and now we have outers. I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, the is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there? Is this the dividing line?
Yeah. So these outers can pilot what they call arsenals, which are the mech, and they are not driven by AI because AI is bad.
Gotcha.
So that is why I believe you do not feed your mech ice cream.
Okay.
However, there are literally hundreds of decals that you can get for your mech, and I wouldn't be surprised if I could put an ice cream cone right there on the visor of the mech.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the problem here is that's how the AI went crazy.
Right.
Well, we got to.
They didn't get ice cream.
Yeah.
That's right.
But so my biggest issue with this game is that once you get to rank C and there's a mission in there that is completely luck based on AI, the video game AI, not in-game AI.
Right.
This has been an issue since the game originally came out on Switch. It was an issue when it came out on Steam, and it's an issue with the Epic version, is that this game, just this particular mission is impossible unless you all of a sudden get lucky and certain things happen in a particular order.
Oh, fun.
If you don't want to know what that is, stop listening because I'm going to spoil it. It's nothing story related because, like I said, I don't care about the story. Basically, what happens is you take this mission, you're supposed to escort this train.
Oh, God.
Well, escort missions in this game haven't been that bad. I think there's been like 1 or 2 of them so far. The first one that I did, you're supposed to protect these 3 limousines driving through a war zone. I accidentally destroyed one of them. Another one got blown up, but the third one made it across, and I got full credit for the mission. Whatever. Cool.
Good job, soldier. It's like, I'm not sure about that, but I'll take it.
But with this train one, what is happening is 3 arsenals come in with mercenaries in them, and they just start attacking the train. And as soon as they show up, the train goes from 100% health to 75% health.
Wow.
Yeah, the DPS that these 3 arsenals are putting out is way more than you can put out.
Right.
And at some point, some of them have known to glitch where you drop them down to like 1 HP, but you can't get them to go to 0 no matter what you do. So they're basically invincible. There are loads and loads of forums about this one mission being impossible just because you're not equipped for it. And there's nothing that you can do to prep for it. Like, it's just a weird difficulty that they never fixed.
Right.
And it's still in this game. And that's kind of where I stopped playing this game because I tried it twice. And I got to the point where one of them bugged out. I couldn't get them below 1 HP. And then they just destroyed me. And that was actually when I found out that you can jump out of the mech before it blows up. And then you can just run around. So I was like, oh, that's different. But yeah, it's just, there's nothing you can really do about it. And there is a bunch of apologists for this game, I'll call them, who are like, well, if you just get lucky and run the mission a couple of times, you'll eventually win it.
No, okay.
And it's like, yeah,
No
I'm
big
not
deal.
I'm not big on RNG, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. This is probably it for me.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But up until this mission, though, I was having a lot of fun just doing dumb stuff. Like, my mech was so decked out, I don't understand how it could fly. I had basically an assault rifle in my right hand. I had a katana in my left hand. I had a shield on my back on a thing so I could swap out between katana and shield. I had a bazooka on the other side of my back so I could switch between an assault rifle and a bazooka. And I had these 2 giant missile pods on my back
that's
that
the
shot
stuff.
out 8 missiles. and they do the cool thing where it's like they'll shoot out and they just kind of hover in front of you and drop a little bit, and then their jets pull off, and they all
so
home
cool.
in. So next thing you know, you've got like all these missiles just homing in on this one thing. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
Loved this game. And then I got to this mission, and I hate this game. So,
Man.
but yeah, I might try it again. I don't know, looking to see if I can get around Epic and, just make it so I can destroy those things using out-of-game stuff.
Yeah, change an INI file somewhere, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try to make it through it. So, the next game that I played, Mass Effect.
Okay.
I pushed
How's
through
the
the
Citadel
Citadel.
treating you?
No, I pushed through it. I
In the
don't
rear view
care
mirror.
Don't care about galactic readiness right now.
Right.
I did complete, I think there was like 3 or 4 missions that I did complete. I let Rex kill Fist, which was fantastic because Garrus was not happy about that. Whatever, man. I told him he could do it if he'd come along with me because he's coming along with me. So we did that. We got in my ship. I'm like, cool. This is probably a good place to stop. So
Yeah.
I am pretty far into the Renegade side of things now.
Mhm.
So I have that to look
Pretty
forward
far.
to. Yeah.
Killed anybody yet?
Yeah, I have. I just told you I let Rex kill Fist.
That was Rex.
Yeah, by my beckoning, I could have stopped him.
You had your puppet go kill him.
Exactly. The mastermind doesn't pull the trigger.
That's right.
He pulls
Plausible
the strings.
deniability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. This
That
is a very Benny Gesserit truth teller kind of thing. Okay,
Mm.
I get you.
that's
I
why
gotcha.
I'm running Renegade.
Right.
But
The desert has its ways. I see what you're doing.
exactly. But yeah, that was all I did with Mass Effect. So the last game that I played this week is Carrion.
Oh.
Hey,
Wow, does this game click on so many levels that I kind of wish it didn't.
Yep. As an eldritch,
Well, you
as an
never
eldritch
wanted to
horror,
be a-
I love it.
yeah. Never wanted to be massive giblets just absorbing everybody you see.
That's right.
It's so the very first thing, the first person that you kill in this game as your amorphous blob with tentacles, when they saw me, I wasn't entirely sure what to do, and I was behind them, so they didn't exactly see me yet. And then when they turned around, they let out like a shriek, and that was when I figured out how to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt kind of weird about that.
Yeah.
Internally. Outside, I was happy. Internally, I just realized, my moral compass is really screwed up right now. So,
Hey man, it's not your fault. You've got the compass from Pirates of the Caribbean. It just points wherever you want to go.
That's
Never
right.
mind what's right or wrong.
So I'm really enjoying the game. I really like the fact that when you get big enough, like your tentacles just reach out and you're just like flying through these levels.
Yeah,
Like,
you were really cooking.
yeah, you're not worried about anything. I have the ability where I can break through the wooden panels, I guess they are.
Yeah.
And I just figured out why I want to leave like bioessence in water, because when
Right.
depending on what size you are, depends on what abilities you can do.
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right,
that's
cool.
Spaces you can go through as well.
Yep.
Yep. I forgot about that.
Guards with machine guns suck,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
apparently they do not taste good, because
Right.
you will just sit there and gnaw on them and fling them around, but you will not actually eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ran into the guards with the flamethrowers, and those suck even more.
Yep.
Yep.
Flying machines aren't that bad. It's just I've noticed between the machine gun guards and the flamethrower guards and the flying machines, sometimes it gets a little too hectic with you trying to aim, with you trying to grab something.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it kind of an issue here and there, or especially if you're getting shot up really fast and you start to get smaller and smaller and smaller, so then you kind of lose where you physically were, because you were taking up like this whole area and now you're just a little speck of a blob.
Right.
It's like, oh crap, I can't find the vent because I thought I was over here and I'm not. Oh well. The checkpoints in this are actually really good. I've died a couple times.
Yep.
And I mean, it puts me pretty close to where I was at. Cool. So I will continue my reign of terror in this game because it brings me happiness in some sick way.
Right. That's Carrion.
So far this week, you have been trying to wipe out all the AIs, which didn't do what you
Correct.
You've been ordering aliens to kill each other.
Yes.
And congealing yourself with humans.
Yeah.
Totally normal
Just
human
making
stuff.
sure.
Yep.
Dude, and for how graphic they get with those pixels.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I got an achievement for eating someone's head.
Yep.
Didn't realize it at first.
Yep. It's a lot. Carrion's real good.
I mean, and yeah, it's all just pixel art. So it's not like, this is like some top rate CG that I'm watching that I'm like, oh, that's making me kind of woozy. No, it's just, it looks like a Super Nintendo game, but it plays really well. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides having some moral questions for myself this coming week, that's all I did.
You don't even question it. Don't lie. You don't even question it. You embrace it.
I mean, it helps get me through the day if I don't wonder where these feelings come from.
That's right. Just tamp it right down.
Wearing the Dark Brotherhood shirt. I'm just
saying. Right.
You just push it deep down into the darkness.
That's right. It'll be fine.
Are you talking about the bodies again?
Yes. What bodies? Favorite in chat mentioned Pokemon Legends Arceus. We were talking in the pre-show about looking for the next game I was going to play before some of the bigger name games come out in February. I forgot to mention I actually did win a copy of that from Pink Gorilla.
I saw that.
So I have a copy of that coming to me at some point. So that'll be my next game that I never finish a Pokemon game, so I won't feel very badly about not finishing this one either.
All you're going to do is beat the Elite Four. That's all you got to do.
Most of these games I don't even get anywhere close.
Well, my son... I got it for my son Friday, and he's been playing it like nonstop, and
Nice.
I've been watching him play it, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm excited to try out like a different Pokemon thing, a different take on it. I just talk about it a little bit because the big release is coming here in a couple weeks. I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, trying to finish up a seal, and which means I have to solo the Pit of Heresy dungeon. It is sucking the life out of me. I'm getting better. I can make it all the way up to the final boss, and that
Can you
is
just
where
clarify there was an S at the beginning of that sentence, please?
no, just Pit of Heresy.
No. It was sucking the life out of you.
Yes, it is sucking the life out of me, yes.
Because it sounded like you said something else, just for the record.
I did not. I will go listen to the tapes. Censor as necessary.
no, it doesn't need to be censored, but
yeah. I'm having sort of a fun time because it's definitely the hardest thing that I've done in Destiny. It's definitely doable. I'm not going to solo flawless it. I don't think I'm that good. But it's kind of fun to stretch my first-person shooter chops and kind of figure out how to do this incredibly difficult thing solo. So I'm getting better. I'm making progress, and I just gotta get through it. I'm so close.
What physical item is getting mailed to you to complete this?
Nothing. But it's literally the last.
Pride.
It's literally like the last thing I need to do on the moon. So it's this thing where it's like if I do this, I can get the title and I can kind of be done with like an entire destination. And it's kind of fun to do this thing that it's difficult enough with 3 people. And it's kind of this fun, real good challenge of like making it a little bit farther each time, learning a little bit more each time. So it's fun. I like it. I like it in the, punching myself in the face over and over kind of way. I was sick most of this week, so I thought, why don't I chill and play some Picross games? I am 3/4 of the way done with Picross S, the Master System and Genesis one. I've done normal ones, color ones, and the clip Picross ones. I'm working my way through Mega Picross, which I'm finding out is not super fun. I get the rules. They're very difficult, but I'm not sure they're clicking with me yet. And there's like 100 of them. There's almost too many puzzles in this game. I think there's like 275 puzzles, 300 puzzles, something like that. Like for $10, it's a lot. Like there's a lot of stuff in this game. I did my last game here though, real quickly. I apologize. It's a game called Meow Tower. It is a Picross game where you help cats that moved into this tower that you take care of. It's like an apartment complex where cats live. It's on both Android and iOS.
Why am I downloading this already?
Well, I have a couple of really good reasons. One is cats are great. Number two, the cats in this game are super cute. Number three, you complete missions for the cats by decorating their living spaces with the things they love, which is unbearably cute. But also, this game is genuinely a really good introduction to Picross games, nanograms. Like the first 30 or so, the tutorial is really good. Yes, that is Meow Tower.
Chubby little faces.
Chubby little Look at faces. Them. They're so cute and chubby and fluffy. The tutorial is really good, and like the first 30 or so puzzles are really easy. So if you have been interested in Picross games, nonogram games, this is a really good introduction. And the way that you quote-unquote purchase stuff for the cats is essentially when you finish a puzzle, they give you like 5 of the currency in the game, and every time you finish a puzzle, you get 5 more. And each one costs like 15, 20 or whatever. So you finish a couple puzzles, you get something cute for this cute cat's cute room, and you have a little bit of dialogue with them where you and the cat talk a little bit, and then you kind of keep going on to the next puzzles. So it's a super light thing. I really like it. It's like super saccharine sweet and happens to be actually a pretty good puzzle game at the same time. So,
well, while just checking that out, I also came across Cat Tycoon, which you may be interested in.
The combination of words there. Yes, I'm very interested in that. As a matter of fact,
it almost looks the same. So
I will have to go check out Cat Tycoon. But yeah, Meow Tower is a fun combination of words and also seemingly a pretty fun game so far. I'm hoping that the next puzzle I unlock isn't, suddenly, telling me to...
Sponsored by NFTs.
Yeah, something like that, or something horrible. So, fingers crossed.
Earn money by logging into your blockchain. And...
That's right. No! The cats were too cute! I should have seen this coming.
What are you doing with your retirement account? I mean,
that's
come
right.
on.
You just got all this money sitting around. Matt Daemon has a deal for you. Anyways, that's all the games I've been playing this week. Let's take a break.
I want to write it down, but I'm gonna not write down Matt Daemon has a deal for you as a show title.
Probably not. I don't want that kind of SEO. Oh man. Okay, so Cat Tycoon.
Yeah. It almost looks like it's also a production simulator in a weird way.
Cat Tycoon. Make cat tree with kitten is its description.
That's an interesting description.
Cat furniture shop. Seems like it might be an idle game. Interesting. Yeah. Enjoy idle game which is too cute. The Idle Tycoon includes advertisements. I clicked on get.
English translations.
Boop. I'll see you tonight, Cat Tycoon.
All I saw was this picture of a fat cat sitting on a stool, and I was like, okay, that's probably the supervisor.
That's for me. That's great.
It's the supervisor or the manager. It's one of the two.
That's right. Oh man.
He's the Horman of the group.
Boo!
That was good, and you know it.
Yeah, that's usually the type of joke I attack my kid with, and she goes, "Daddy." It's like, yeah, gotcha. Take that.
Well, I'm glad your kid understands dad jokes already and how terrible they
It's
truly
been
are.
her whole life. It's in my DNA. I can't help it. It's just, I'm powerless to resist it. They just come right out. Yeah.
I'm saying nothing.
Hashtag. All right, you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I know.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of January 31st, 2022. I have parenthetically here the beginning of video games. They're all coming out in February, so let's get started. Life is Strange Remastered Collection comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, PC, and Stadia. This is like... Go ahead.
Can someone please tell me right now,
Yes.
straight off the bat,
Uh-huh.
I do not need to replay the Life is Strange games.
You do not need to replay this. I have this as part of my purchase of True Colors. I will not be installing this because I haven't finished True Colors, and I need to finish that. This is Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm in the same package. I believe Before the Storm has all the content, including like that little extra stab you in the heart sequence that was at the end of it that you got for like pre-ordering this special edition or whatever. Remastered is maybe kind of a misnomer here because they've gone through and radically changed a considerable amount of the tech underlying this game. So not only does it like look better, the lighting engine is better, but they're using a lot of the facial animation engine that True Colors has. So as opposed to them not really emoting at all, there's a ton of stuff they can use to emote differently in this game. Yeah.
I do not need to.
You don't have the time to play this game because of our next game. But
yes, which can we need to talk about the advertising campaign for this game.
Next game here, Dying Light 2, Stay Human, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and the personal computer. Yeah, the advertisement. We didn't talk about this. It came out a couple weeks ago and kind of made a huge splash. And then whoever's publishing this, Techland, maybe? I don't remember.
I believe so.
The advertising was takes you like what 500 something hours to walk across one country to another, and they're like, well, it takes 500 hours to finish Dying Light 2, and everyone was like, hey man, that's not for real, right? Like you can't do that to people. That's not. And eventually they came out and they're like, no, I mean, if you want like 100% the game, yeah, but if not, then it's like 20 hours. People are like, that's still a lot, but okay, it's not 500 hours at least, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I probably hit that age about 5 years ago when 90-hour games no longer held their sway as worthwhile.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason I have been too afraid to start The Witcher 2 or 3.
Well, don't feel so badly because I pre-ordered Horizon Forbidden West the other day, and then like literally
another one of them.
Literally the next day they were like, yeah, if you want 100% this game, it's probably only like 200 hours. And I was like, I swear, come on. The Witch Queen comes out 4 days later. There's the thing too is like when they say 100%, I feel like they're like, we'll win all of the mini game against all these people, like craft every weapon, collect every little piece of. And I was like, I'm gonna go through the game. I'm gonna say, yay, it's Lance Reddick, and then I'm gonna finish it and be like, yeah, that was a good game. Hopefully,
that's what I did with the first one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure my completion was like 38% or something.
Yeah, I had a problem with that first game. I 100%ed that game on both difficulties, and that was, that game was spicy on that hardest difficulty. Man, that was a good time. But yeah, Dying Light 2 somehow coming out. The only version that got delayed is the Switch Cloud version. they delayed that for unknown reasons, but we can probably assume why. So, God, yeah, we'll I guess we'll talk about this on the show at some point, eventually.
2025, based on the way the current playtime goes.
Yeah, it'll take you that long to 100% Dying Light 2. Hey, yeah. But that's all of our releases this week. The releases for February kind of start seriously ramping up at this point. So if you're looking for stuff to play, gosh, there's gonna be a lot.
There is a storm on the horizon.
Heyo. We don't have any news stories this week because all of it is either fallout from the Activision Microsoft thing, or it's NFTs. I don't really want to talk about either one of those because they're both bad. One of them's destroying the planet, but you already know which one that is. So let's move on to questions here. T-Bomb Rock sent us a question last week. With the purchase of Activision Blizzard for Xbox, it has me wondering, most likely partnerships will be valid for a year or so. What will Sony do to make up for the potential loss of a shooter with such a strong third-party partner? Will Sony ride the Battlefield train, or will we see them the return of Killzone?
Battle of Honor, man, all the way.
Yeah, this is a really good question because I feel like Sony's focus ever since Uncharted 1, so for like the last 2-point-something generations, has been, you know the shorthand, they're Sony games. They're third-person character action platforming shooter things.
Look at the booty shooty. Thank you very much.
I don't like girlfriend reviews, so I'd rather not call it that.
Fair enough.
But I think like when you think of Sony on like the PS2 and PS3 days, I think you think of first and third person shooters. You think of stuff like Killzone. You think of, like you said, Medal of Honor. You think of Battlefield and what was the like Battlefield Bad Company. Those felt like those were always kind of big Sony hits.
Yeah. What was the one that had you inject like lemon juice into your eyeballs or something like that?
Haze.
There we go.
Yeah.
How
featuring,
do you know
featuring a
that
song
name?
from Korn. That's why I remember it.
Yeah.
Korn did the theme song for Haze, titled Haze. It was bad.
The game or the song?
Both. I like Korn fine enough. That was a bad song. But I feel like nowadays, when you think of like Sony of the PS4 and PS5 days, you don't think of shooters. And I'm not necessarily sure. I don't think Killzone comes back. I don't think that was ever it was beloved, but I don't think that's... Yeah, Feyrer in chat says Resistance, Fall of Man. Like, that's another series that did pretty well for them for a long time, but I don't know if either one of those are things you bring back. Like, Siphon Filter, I don't think is like a third-person shooter you bring back. Like, they have a pretty good stable of...
Siphon Filter is such a good game, though.
And I
But
think
the problem
even...
isn't it a Clancy game?
No.
No, I don't.
It does not say Tom Clancy on the game case because I've seen 1, 2, and 3 when I talked about going into the used video game store forever ago.
Yeah,
so.
I wonder if that's just sort of what they were trying to emulate during the time, where it's like it's a Clancy-like.
They just got to bring that taser back. That's all anybody wants.
That's right, and that weird run he does. But even that, like, I'm not sure that's... I don't know if Sony even tries to compete by bringing something back. I wonder if they want to compete in, like, the first or third person shooter genres. I feel like they kind of make something new at this point. They take one of their studios and they... Because they're doing super well with Uncharted. The God of War Ragnarok is supposed to come out sometime this year. They've got the lock on Spider-Man games. Like, they, for a platform, for Sony's platform, they have a lot of Sony games on it, and they're doing really well for them. So I'm not sure. I'm also... this isn't me taking issue with T-Bomb here. I love you, T-Bomb. But I keep seeing the pundits online saying, like, well, of course Call of Duty is going to go first party for Microsoft, and it'll go on Game Pass, and it won't be on Sony. And I feel like
I think Warzone stays.
I think everything stays because unlike something like Halo or unlike Gears of War or something like that, I think the Battle Pass and microtransactions for Call of Duty is so far above and beyond a money-making potential above, like, I don't think they might try, but I don't think it's a smart way of putting like a Battle Pass or microtransactions in Skyrim. I don't think
next update.
Yeah, I know. The 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy your fishing lore.
Skyrim Battle Pass edition.
I think that's the way you keep making money on Skyrim, is you just keep pulling that tail longer and longer and saying, well, now you got, this one comes with all the mods. All right, this one now is 4K and HDR. I don't think you add seasons or battle passes to Skyrim. But looking at something like Call of Duty, you want to keep people buying the season passes, and you want to keep them buying whatever DLC packs you got coming out and whatever skins and charms and stuff like that. I think the money-making potential on that is so much bigger than here's a $60 or $70 game. That's only a fraction of the money you make out of that game. So I think the idea of pulling that potential off of a platform that's as big as the PS4 and PS5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were to say, like, Call of Duty isn't going to come out on the Xbox in Japan, yeah, okay, that's probably a good call. Like, no one's going to fault you for that. But you say you're going to pull Call of Duty off, or like the next Call of Duty isn't coming out on Stadia. It's like, yeah, sure, that's okay. But
I could see it getting pulled from Stadia.
Yeah, 100%. But I think if you talk about pulling it off of the one half of the two big home platforms, then I would be genuinely surprised if they did, and I'm not sure how smart of a choice that would be.
Yeah, man. Gotta sell them weed skins somehow.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. The Snoop Dogg voice packs. Gotta get those on as many platforms as you need. Feyroar in chat says get Bungie to design one for them. Design a shooter for Sony. Yeah, Bungie is not so secretly working on their next big thing after Destiny, so curious to see what form that takes and who that's for. But I as much as I like Bungie, I'm not entirely sure that you see large or small publishers or platform holders working with them anymore, as I think that well has sort of been poisoned.
They kind of burned a lot of bridges to get where they are right now, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they value their independence more than, and Destiny's doing really well for them, so I don't think they need to really continue doing anything else.
I was going to say, all the crap that you can give Destiny, it's like one of the most supported games in the last, 10, 15 years?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, new content is coming out every 3 months, like a major release of new content. So, like, yeah.
So, do you think Bungie succeeded to spite themselves?
I think that's always been... I think that's always sort of been Bungie's history. It's sort of been like... They have tried to make smart partnerships, either between Microsoft or Activision, and I think the way that Bungie designs and releases games is kind of antithetic to most publishers. Like, if Bungie was still working with Activision at this point, Witch Queen would be Destiny 4. So like that would be the release cadence that Bungie would be on. And I think that's sort of antithetic to how they want to work. But I don't know. I think T-Bomb asks a really good question. I think if you're in Sony's shoes, I think that's kind of the big question, because Microsoft kind of has cornered the market on so much stuff at this point. Like, you have Skyrim, you have Obsidian, you have you have a whole bunch of RPGs, You have a whole bunch of first and third person shooters. Like, you have all of those releases in like every sort of tent pole that you would want. I don't know if they have a good answer to maybe the Sony game, your third person character action game.
I don't think they do at the moment.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who knows? They've got so many studios, they could make some stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the benefit of Microsoft at this point, is they own dozens and dozens of studios where it's like, yeah, let's make a cool third person character action platformer shooter thing, and you have kind of the pick of the litter to go make it at this point.
What would you do if the new Fable was a standout version of that?
Man, I would, as someone who doesn't like the Fable games, I would love for the next Fable to be good. I'm sort of cautiously optimistic with Turn 10 working on it, because I like the idea of, like, you've been making all these great racing games. Go make Fable. It's like, okay, cool. Like,
well, from what I understand, it was one they asked for, wasn't it? They asked for Fable.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, from what I remember, I think they asked for Fable because they had a really good idea for it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of fun then, at least, where Microsoft's at the point where it's like, hey, I have a really good idea for this Fable game. Can we go work on it? And it's like, sure, why not? Seems like it might be a fun thing. Interesting. Our last question here is from Monkey Suit Man. I'm going to change this question a little bit. He asks, what are some of your favorite video game songs? I've been listening to Death's Door's Avarice a lot. Such a good song. I want to talk more about what songs in, like, maybe the last 1 or 2 years have we really liked? Like, recent releases that have really stuck out for you.
Recent releases?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know it's not recent, but Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance has got one of the sickest soundtracks that ever existed on the planet.
That's true. It is not recent, but it is also incredible.
Rising: Revengeance is... Ori. Ori is so good.
Yes. That's true.
I've Persona 5. Is that close enough with your...
I mean, Persona 5 soundtrack is so incredible.
Them moving to jazz was kind of like, when it's like, it could be good, and then you hear it and you're like, no, this is good.
Yeah. Feyrer in chat says the Hades soundtrack, 100%. That is incredibly great soundtrack. I think for being super understated, I think the Unpacking soundtrack is really good. What was that game?
Oh, dude. Two really quick. Does Final Fantasy VII Remake have Sephiroth's theme in it yet? Does it have a rendition of One Winged
I'm
Angel?
not going to spoil the end of that, but it has like 2 or 3 really sick versions of, like, deconstructed versions of One Winged Angel.
Dude, just look up the end of 7, and yeah, spine tingling.
Spiritfarer.
Spiritfarer's so good. I got to go back to play that because now they're done adding content to that.
6 more DLCs.
Yeah, they're all free, thankfully. What was that that RPG we played on Game Club? The one where you go to the witch school?
Saturday Morning RPG?
No, not a bad game.
Iconfell is the one you're talking about.
Iconfell has such a good soundtrack. I feel like that's I'm a big fan of Ivy and Sarashu sort of already, but man, they did a great job on that game. I should look at my top 10 from last year.
There was some decent ambient music in the package delivering game from Kojima, which I can never remember.
Oh, Death Stranding. Yeah. Returnal from last year. I totally forgot that most of that soundtrack is really good. Loop Hero, that is... I feel like people keep overlooking Loop Hero's soundtrack, and it is genuinely really good.
Tales of Arise has good music.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, honestly, for me, you could say that about just any JRPG. So.
Yeah, thankfully, historically, they're all usually really good.
What do you guys think
Outer
about the music?
Wilds.
Okay.
Oh, Outer Wilds is good, yeah.
The soundtrack from Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 5.
It's
Because I don't
lackluster
remember.
on
I
all
was gonna say I don't
fronts.
remember a whole lot about it.
It's not the strongest. I think it's largely solid, but unlike a lot of the other ones, you're not sitting there being like, oh, here's my favorite channel. Like, oh, I really like this song. It's sort of like, yeah, these are all fine.
Awful Escape has got a pretty good one as well.
Yeah.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, yep. Those are.
It's good because, man, does that thing just automatically pull dread out of me.
Moon will probably agree and disagree with me on this one. I think Descenders has a really good, for like a licensed soundtrack, is really good. I know you're like super sick of hearing it, but
Yes, it has a pretty solid. It has a really solid soundtrack. It is very drum and bassy, I believe, as well.
yes.
Oh, whatever it's called. I don't know genres.
I feel like I feel like every time you talk about like electronic music's soundtrack or electronic music genres, no one can ever agree.
Yeah.
So
No. Goose Game had a pretty solid soundtrack.
Goose Game soundtrack is really good, actually. Also, I don't know if you know this, Moon. The guy who composed the Unpacking soundtrack did Hand of Fate 1 and 2.
Okay.
I was like, oh, so you just make great soundtracks. Like, it's no big deal. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
That's
why not?
Jeff Van Dyke does those ones.
Let me just flop my talent right on the table right here with my
Yeah.
3 soundtracks with all great choices.
Yeah. Moonglow Bay also last year had a really good soundtrack. Lane of Rain doesn't really make bad soundtracks, so like, surprisingly, she made another great one.
According to you.
What else? I feel like that's kind of the highlights that I have looking at my list of last year.
I'm going to say this, and I know it's going to make Boston cringe, but
Oh,
after a while, Dungeon Encounters started to grow on me.
Oh no! Oh no! I feel like that's the definition of Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like after like 30 or 40 hours, it gets pretty good. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, just turn it off.
What has been beaten into the back of my head several times?
That's right.
Florence.
Florence. Yeah. Man, what a great soundtrack for like, that game's like an hour long at most, maybe. Yeah.
It's a mobile game. Shockingly good. The most on-point soundtrack, I wouldn't say it's the best, but the most on-point soundtrack that really brings you into the world has to be Oberdin.
Oh god, Oberdin's soundtrack is so good. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. That's one of my the song that plays when you
Shanty.
No, the one where you discover 3 more people and like the last 3 notes are them filling in the lines in that big circle.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I switched to that, I was just like bopping along to that song. It's like, hell yeah, got 3 more. Let's go. Oh man. I also, my final one here, just because it's really weird, is SMT5. That's a really weird soundtrack and it's really good, but it's definitely not like, is not at all what you expect.
Gotta put more time into that game.
I would really like for them to announce that for coming out for like PC and PS4, because I just, every time I think about playing it, I'm just like, it runs so poorly on the Switch. I need you to be on something else.
I think that's part of my problem. It's like, I gotta sit out in the living room and kick the kids off the TV and
God.
But then it's also the fact that it's like I can't just walk through this game. I have to actually think about what I'm doing.
Yeah, fuse those demons.
Yeah, and even when I am thinking about it, it's still gonna kick me in the throat.
Yep, so good, man. All right, that's all our questions for this week, and that's actually our episode for this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side page, including the link to the Discord server. You can hang out with us there. We started a new channel for Wordle. You can, or whatever disaster of a math Wordle game that Mackie found.
Wasn't that Nerdle or something?
I think it is. I think it is Nerdle. That is probably a bridge too far for my brain. But boy, that's a clever way of making that formula stretch. So go check out the Discord server. Thank you, Faber. And go leading nicely into my next. Go join our Patreon. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Talked about all the cool stuff you get at the top of the show. Your financial support helps us pay for all the bills related to the show. You know, software and hosting and the other hosting and all the other stuff that we need to do. If you're ever curious where all your money goes, I'm very transparent about where the sort of budget breakdown is on the page. You can go check that out. $5 a month tier is the one we recommend at a minimum. That gets you everything. We appreciate your financial support. If you can't support us financially, you can support us by telling your friends, sharing on social media, rating it 5 stars wherever you listen, liking the videos on YouTube. All that stuff genuinely really helps. Like, go look at our YouTube channel if you haven't checked it out in a while. I don't put the fully produced audio versions of these shows up anymore. It's just all the live stream archives and the recordings we do for the other stuff. So if you want to see what we look like while we're making each other cringe with bad puns,
why would
YouTube
you want
channel.
that is what I want to know.
Hey, we're all beautiful, as Christina Aguilera said. So you can check out all that stuff. All the links to that stuff is on the right side of the page. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
In the immortal words of Pink, I don't care what you know or what you think I should look like.
That's right. That's right. All right, Nymph. What are your titles?
I have Very Nice, Very Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Addicted, Young, and Naive.
I also have that.
The Old Man Crows. Caw-caw, my friends. And Living Dark 2.
Oh, Living Dark 2. I can't believe I actually said that with my mouth. All right, Moon, what titles do you have?
Tyrant in the Room, The Living Dark 2, Are There Innies, ? And Congealing Inhumans. I didn't bother writing any more titles because it was either going to be Living Dark 2 or Addicted.
Young and Naive, yeah. I have both of those.
Yeah.
And the only other one I have are The Cats Were Too Cute. But I don't think that hangs with the other two. I kind of like the Living Dark 2.
I like them both. Like, that's my problem.
I think for me, the Living Dark 2, like, inches it out a little bit, because I think it's a little bit less of a TVGP title than the other one.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's all celebrate. We don't have an anime title for a 3rd week in a row. We've finally broken our streak.
Oh, you just
Thank
wait,
you.
son.
Oh, wait for next week. It's going to be twice as bad.
You telling me you couldn't imagine an anime called The Living Dark 2?
We got $1 million sell on our hands. Hold on. Or you got to cut this out. Stop the live stream.
Verbal trademark.
That's right. I have it on record.
So I'm cool with Living Dark 2.
Okay.
That's
got my vote.
nothing.
I got nothing right now. I'm thinking.
I'm circling.
Okay. Okay. I got something.
Uh-oh.
It's not great, but I got something.
All right.
All right, go for it.
Okay. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 745 for January 31st, 2022. The Living Dark 2.
500 hours just to install.
If you call them undead, aren't they just alive?
I love this show so much. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for listening and watching. We always do appreciate it.
Go away.
I hope we'll see you all next week.
My birthday brownies.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye. Bye.